Hello, welcome to a new unboxing and quick testing. Today will be a new WLtoys model, the V333. Oh, the huge box, of course. This is a quadcopter with a 350 size, so it means that you have a diagonal of 35 centimeters. Okay, so this is an evolution of the very famous 262, very big hit in WLtoys quadcopter. So it's taking the same success ingredient but adding some novelty. The novelty is the headless function. So what you will find in the box, you will find the quadcopter. Well, the design is taking the shape of the Rcgroups 2. It's exactly the same design, it's a copy of it. Okay, so you will have a huge foam, okay, in EPP material protecting the props, and you have also a canopy there protecting below it the electronics. Okay, so I will return to the quadcopter later. What you will find also in the box, you will find the transmitter. Okay, this is a classic transmitter used by WLtoys since many years, probably since their first helicopter. It's exactly the same chassis of transmitter. Okay, so this one is with a larger LCD model, so I can turn on, very bright, and with backlight LCD. And you will, I will explain later the role of each button, more or less. And what you will find a bag with spare props, 2 clockwise and 2 counterclockwise, and a power adapter delivering 10 volts and up to 0.8 ampere, and the associated charger, where you plug your power adapter there, and allow to charge your LiPo with the balancer plugs. Finally, you will find the instruction manual. Well, it's more or less the same than the V262. Only some small difference can be found, for example, in the diagram of the FC board, and at the end a section dedicated to the headless function called CF mode. Okay, so it's basically the same Chinglish instruction manual you can be found in every WLtoys model. So I will return to this quadcopter. This quadcopter is very famous because probably this is one of the first cheap Mobius platform you can find on the very cheap quadcopter model. So for less than 80-90 bucks you can carry a Mobius camera and HD camera without taking too much risk. You can carry this camera up to 100 meters high, and the range control is quite good, and if you lost it, it's not a big drama compared to, for example, very expensive quadcopter. So the basic ingredient of this quadcopter is this one, is the first large size 350 size quadcopter ship. So what you will find, okay, you will find some brushed motor. The brushed motor are N50 size. Okay, so well, the major complaint of the 262 are concerning this brushed motor. They are known to be fragile. Well, they are fragile if you use your quadcopter very intensively, if you fly a lot with the canopy holding the camera, for example GoPro, you will have a huge payload and mechanically you will abuse of the motors. So especially the first run, when you will start your quadcopter, you need to pay special attention to them, to use them carefully and not at full throttle speed. And as I will show in another video, it's better to make a rodage of them. It means that you will run them and make them spinning at very low RPM in order to perform the braking procedure. So it's very important to do that in order to to save your motor and to at least to have 30, 40, 50 flight without any problems. Okay, so the props are N50 size, the motor, sorry, the props are large enough, something like, if I take the ruler, they are close to 19.5 centimeters, and the main shaft there got a diameter of something like, is not visible there, but something like 1 or 1.5 millimeters. I will explain later also about the shaft and the ball bearings. So what you will find also, you will find this LiPo battery. Okay, the cheapest one is 850 milliamps, okay, in 2S, so it means that it's working as 7.4 volts. It takes approximately 40 minutes to charge, okay, and the flying duration with the Canopy is between 5 to 6 minutes, okay, so 40 minutes to charge, 5 or 6 minutes of flying time. Okay, what you will find also below this foam canopy, you will find the quad and X format, and the arms. The arms are 5 millimeters large or square, so they are very solid and quite large, so it's good. It can handle some crash without any problem. The foam is protecting well the crash. It's quite solid. You can hit a wall, a trees without any problem. You can fall in any position. You won't have any big problem. So it's ideal for beginners to start to learn quadcopter, especially outdoors. You won't have a really big crash and accident, and will break a lot of things when you're wearing this canopy. Okay, so the novelty there is this red FC board. Okay, this is the new one dedicated to the V333. It is including some magnetometer in order to make the headless function working. So on this FC board you can find some wide connectors. Each of them are associated to one of the spare and tools. For example, you can install a camera there, a missile launcher, and you have also a bubble launcher, and so on and so on. So you have this very nice and funny extension you can install. You have to buy them separately. It's not shipped with the V333, but you just have to plug the connector and to mount on the below the battery bay. And it's not visible, but you will have a new chip dedicated to the magnetometers in order to make the headless function working. So what you will find, each motor are connected to some connector, and is not visible in this way, but there you will find there the daughter board associated to the RF chips. So if you want to extend your range, please put vertically the antenna. Okay, this antenna is perfectly tuned to 31 millimeters, associated to the 2.4 gigahertz frequency band of the carrier. Okay, so if you put in this direction, you favorize the horizontal propagation of the wave, so you can have a long range distance over the horizontal plane. So, well, the other small drawbacks are drawbacks of the WLtoys was concerning the shaft. Okay, so here on the bottom there, and close to the props, you will find some bushing rings instead of ball bearing. It's not visible. It's below the props and below the gear. Okay, so you will find some basic bushing rings. So it means that and in theory, to improve the rotation and decrease the friction, you should have some ball bearings. So unfortunately for the 333 is still some bushing rings. So my main advice, if you want to buy this quadcopter, is to order some ball bearing. The size are 3 mm of inner diameters, 6 for the outer diameters, and a weight 8 of 2 mm. In fact, they are exactly the same than the V959 model, an older WLtoys model. So you have to buy 8, 2 per arms, and you should replace these bushing rings for a real ball bearing. It will considerably reducing the friction, and it will make your motor more longer. Okay, another tips if you want to make your motors more longer is to to partially remove this holder. Keep the basic part, the upper part, okay, and you can cut with a knife, with being safe for yourself. You can cut a little bit some plastic in order to make more air entering in this part. Okay, so it can help to reduce the heat of the motor, especially in summer times, of course. And the scale of this quadcopter with the canopy on is approximately, I will scale it in live, without the LiPo is something like 214 grams, okay, and the LiPo itself is scaling more than 46 grams, so the total weight is close to 270 grams of the V333 with the canopy on, okay, so 260 grams, okay, with the canopy on. So when you will be accustomed to fly outdoors, you will be able to remove the canopy. The canopy itself is scaling close to 60 grams, so you can save a huge amount of weight, and especially if you plan to carry a Mobius camera, it will extend your flying time, flying duration by a big amount of big factors. For example, if you install a larger battery, LiPo, for example, you can cut this small plastic part, okay, there. You cut them, and you can welcome a more larger battery. You can, for example, welcome up to 100, 200 milliampere per hours in such compartment. And without the canopy, you can extend your flying duration from 10-12 minutes without any problems. So it's good news, okay? When you have the canopy off, this quadcopter can hold a Mobius camera without any problems. You don't feel it at all that you are wearing the 40 grams of the Mobius camera. It's very good. And if you balance your props, so it's because usually the two parts, the two blades forming the props are not exactly the same weight, and you can, if they are not, you can have some small vibrations, and it can introduce some general effect when you're filming with your camera. So in order to fighting against, you can balance your props. Okay, you can use a prop balancer, or you have some YouTube video showing that. It's not a problem. When you are balancing your props, you can considerably reduce the vibrations when you carry a HD camera. Okay, so this quadcopter, the electronic is you have the famous Invensen 6050C, which is an accelerometer and gyroscope chip. Is very known, very used. Is, I would say that 95% of the quadcopter. It's a very stable quadcopter. It's amazing stable. It will reduce considerably the horizontal and vertical small oscillations. So you will be free of that. And the radio chips is a clone of the NRF2401. It's a BK2423. It's compatible 100% with NRF1. And you can bind it, of course, with the WLtoys transmitter, but you can use a GXD transmitter, for example, from the 388 or 385. And of course, If you have a Devo controller, you can buy this quadcopter if you mod your Devo controller Deviation TX compatible with the NRF24 Elder 1 chips. So you can buy this quadcopter with a lot of transmitter if you don't like this one, but this one is very good. Well, as I show, you have a light red LEDs there with backlights. Okay, so you have LED there. Here the cables are very smooth and very precise. Well, for the RTF model is a very good one. Here you have 6 buttons, 3 on the left, 3 on the right. The 3 on the left is selecting the speed mode from 40%. This is the beginner mode, 60, 80, 100 there. And this button is allowing to turn off or on the light, okay? And the novelty is here. This button, when your quadcopter is hovering, is allowing you to activate or disable the headless mode. So you have to press 2 seconds and the transmitter is starting to emitting this long sequence of beep. Okay, it's indicating you that you are in headless mode. Okay, press again on it to disable the headless mode. Here on the left shoulder button you will have the camera or the external function activation. So you can start the camera by pressing this left button. And finally, the right shoulder button is for activating the flip. Okay, you have a fast beep emission, and after you have to indicate the direction where to flip. For example, if I press forward, the quadcopter will make a flip forward, and so on. Okay, so I will show in outdoors video how to make the gyroscope calibration, as well how is efficient the headless mode. So it's really efficient, and when you are power on your quadcopter, okay, I will reinstall the battery. You will have the LED flashing. So how to bind it? I will put forward, for example. Okay, so the main direction is this one, the red indicating the front. So I will arm the quadcopter by pushing up. Sorry, it was already armed, sorry. So to activate the headless function, you have to press this one long time. Okay, and now if I push, it will be a little bit difficult indoors, so I will show it outdoors. Okay, so I will conclude this unboxing video. So first turn off the transmitter and the quadcopter. So this evolution of the V333 quadcopter from WLtoys is introducing headless functions. So it's very interesting for beginners because sometimes it's very hard to keep in your mind the orientations when the quadcopter, the front is facing front of you and you want to return the quadcopter to you, so you can lose sometime how to the direction in your head. So finally, if you initialize the quadcopter in front of you, you will always have to use the same direction in headless mode. Okay, so if you are more clever, accustomed, so you can of course disable the headless function. So definitively this model is a beginner model, but a big model for outdoor flying for beginners. So it's very solid to crash, and it's very powerful. You can have a very strong lift, and you can have a very important payload. For this one you can carry, for example, a GoPro. For this one it's better to remove the canopy, because you can save up to 60 grams. So this quadcopter is a perfect ship Mobius carrier, The range is very good. On the transmitter, I didn't mention that you will have a forward antenna, so the radio link is strong. You can control it up to 100 meter, 150 meter without any problems. So it starts to be a very a good platform and cheap one. Of course, the question is better to have this model compared to, for example, a small and cheap brushless? Well, I would say that if you break something, if you, for example, you break a spare motor is only $4 or $5. Okay, if you have a brushless version, of course it's more sportive. But if you break a boom or a motor, it will be at least the bill will be at least for $20. So, well, in the first time when you want to learn a quadcopter, I will advise first to take such quad in order to make your first video in outdoors when you're carrying a Mobius camera. Okay, so I will end this unboxing and quick testing. Thank you for watching. If you like this unboxing, please subscribe my channel. Bye bye.